This is TIW champion Jamar Justice, and this is Geeks with Issues.
Hey, true believers, welcome to yet another exciting episode of Geeks with Issues 20XX, brought to you here from the new Basement of Dreams here in the Northern Berkshire Community Television Studios in North Adams, Massachusetts. We've got an exciting episode for you, but before we get started, let me introduce to you your geeks. To my far right, your far left, taking a break from the control room, the multimodal combat master, Trevor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do.
In the middle, our chief technologist, Ogre.
Hello.
And I, your friendly neighborhood Geekmaster, am Tuck. So, Trevor, you wanted to ask us about our dirty little secret geekdoms?
Yeah, so one thing I tend to ask most of our guests on Journey from the Basement is what is a hidden geek thing that you're a geek for? What do you geek out about that someone might not know? Some of the examples I've used. Well, it's obvious that I'm a professional wrestling geek and a comic book geek. You might not know that I'm in love with I Love Lucy, or that I'm still obsessed with Matchbox cars. Not even buying them, just seeing them in stores, seeing what new ones are out, things like that. Greek mythology is another one that I'm super into. Yeah, so my question would be, what would your hidden geekdoms be?
I'm going to take a moment to think about that because I'd like to think I wear my geekdoms on my sleeve, but that's not necessarily true necessarily.
I'll bet you can tie a lot of knots and people might not know that you can tie a lot of different kinds of knots.
Well, that's a Boy Scout thing. Being an Eagle Scout, that's kind of expected.
I'll jump in then. Here, my current favorite is relatively new, is papercraft models. So I was gifted a papercraft model of the castle from Howl's Moving Castle here, and I've been putting it together for the last few weeks. It's been so much fun, and which kind of segues into another fun geek thing that I don't talk about is geek rock music. Like one of the currently released is a band called the Protomen out of Nashville, and they released Act 3 of their Protomen rock opera this past week, and it's been pretty epic with papercraft. So that has been literally my joy for the last week or two here.
Anytime you can put two geek things together like that, it's fantastic. That quite often I'm on Spotify with a whole playlist of stuff while I'm walking around work. Last week it was literally playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater while listening to a book about the Montauk experiments and Montauk project that inspired Stranger Things.
Nice.
Yes, two geek things together is wonderful.
Oh, two geek things together is fantastic. See, that's the two geek things together is fun because I will very often put on one of my political YouTubes or one of my religious YouTubes. That's probably the thing. I'm a Catholic geek.
Okay.
People don't necessarily think about that for me, but people who know me are not surprised.
Right.
Words.
While not being religious, I could probably say that I'm a theology and mythology geek. I mean, a lot of stories I think that we're into probably pull from a lot of different theologies.
A lot of those
mythologies.
different theology elements. Well, and I can remember having one of those cross-geek scene moments. The first time I saw X-Men the Animated Series, and it was the episode when Nightcrawler is evangelizing Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
That's the sort of thing you will not see on. It feels like you will not see on TV nowadays because it feels too raw for some people.
If you've never read, oh my God, the issue escapes me, but a Superman issue where essentially he saves a woman, I think it's from a fire in a burning church. And though Superman is canon and everyone knows who Superman is, she refused to believe that he's not Christ incarnate saving her. So it goes into the whole, like, am I playing God by doing this whole thing aspect of it. Very cool. Just check that out.
I should check that out.
Yeah.
This was good. That's a darn good question.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm so stunned by this. In 13 seconds left, I'm like, I'm ready to move on. Okay. Whew.
A good way to think about it would be, what would you still get picked on by someone in your life
Right.
for being a geek in that thing?
Right.
That's a good way to think.
Yeah. It's a good point. And a good reminder to all of our viewers that there are still things that you're geeky about that you might not be sharing necessarily. Share that geekdom.
We will not yuck your yums on Geeks with Issues.
That's right. Truth. Okay. We told some stories. Now Ogre wants to have us pick apart some storytelling trends.
Ooh, yeah. What would you, what would you like to see disappear from current trends in storytelling, and what would you like to see grow more popular in storytelling? I know for me, I would like stories. Specifically, a gripe that I have is titles. Like one of the getting rid of long-winded titles that have made their way in through the anime fandom. They're like a great one. Oh, I'm not gonna. There's so many long ones. Just do a search for anime title and you will find what I mean. But it's like how such and who piloted the thingy to defend the big bad, or to defeat the big bad at level 7 billion. You know, stop. Use adjective noun or adjective noun, or give us a couple of words that exemplify a thing. It's
Be
so
concise,
frustrating
darn
every
it.
time I see one.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
My thing would have to be the multiverse at this point. Everything is the multiverse. The multiverse is a reason to write anything that's dead back into existence or correct some storyline from years and years ago. It's a convenient writing device, but it's been done way too much in movies, in TV, if TV's even still a thing, in streaming, video games. I don't really know what I would replace it with because it's all over the place out there, and I'm not a fantastic writer myself, so I can't judge anybody who uses it, but it's definitely everywhere right now.
Because I think mine, and this is one that I've touched upon already, is the overuse of the crossover as a device. Yeah. I think and I'm trying to not rehash my rant from several episodes ago about crossovers. But I do know that there is something, taking this from a video game place, particularly Asian originating mobile games.
Right.
They will create a in-game universe that's consistent, that has characters that are consistent, that you begin to get invested in and interested in. You want to learn more about them. And then, like, I can remember a series that was mech-based. And I'm very interested in the story, and it's very cool. And then all of a sudden, they throw in Neon Genesis Evangelion. And there's this whole crossover element where they're like, the universes collide and characters from Evangelion are now getting involved. And the idea is that as a collector, you're collecting, you know, the little digital mechs and the little digital pilots. And it ruined integration for me to now have these characters that feel like they don't belong there. I'll be honest, I played Raid Shadow Legends for all of 12 minutes. But the addition of the Ninja Turtles was... Why?
Well, that's
Why?
That's where I'm at with Fortnite. Several times, I've seen a lot of people who are really good gamers that tell me Fortnite is fantastic. A lot of people casually play that say it's really good. I can't get into it because at what point now do I jump in? I mean, because I'm the kind of person who once I get into something, I want every skin. I want every this and every that. And it's impossible.
Oh, at this point, it's just not.
They just added South Park, of all things,
Right.
to Fortnite. I think Fortniteification is like even a word that I've heard for that kind of thing. No, it's good universes are quite often ruined by forced crossovers that force you to forget about a lot of the side characters or B or C stories about those properties that might be really, really good. And then a few of them are brought on to whatever other Nickelodeon kart racer that's a Mario Kart clone or whatever Smash Brothers clone is going on currently. Yeah, it cheapens every little thing that goes into those crossovers.
We've run out of time on this topic. I think next episode we should bring this topic back.
Absolutely.
And talk about the things that, as storytelling trends that we like.
Yes.
Because we didn't touch on those this much.
We got too negative. I'm sorry.
That's that's where we have fun because it gets spicy.
Oh yeah, it may have been too diverse. Oh gosh, yeah.
No, that's good. We'll remember it for next time. Something that you may remember from previous times is when Trevor took a journey from the basement to Mana Crypt, the relatively local game shop here in Berkshire County, based out of Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Well, Mana Crypt has moved to a brand new space, and it is such a sight to behold that Trevor had to go back and visit again. Let's take a look at that experience.
Welcome back to Journey from the Basement, where we crawl out of the shadows and into the spaces where geek culture lives, grows, and thrives. Today's stop is a big one, Mana Crypt's brand new home on West Housatonic Street in Pittsfield. And let us tell you, this is not your average card shop glow-up. This new Mana Crypt is bright, open, and absolutely packed with discoveries. Every corner has something cool waiting to be found. Whether you're digging for cards, checking out tabletop gear, or just soaking in the vibe. The first floor is a clean, spacious retail haven. And upstairs, an open, welcoming tabletop gaming and tournament space that feels like it was built specifically for community. With easy access, plenty of parking, and a location you can't miss, Mana Crypt isn't just bigger, it's better. And for geeks in Berkshire County, seeing a community gaming hub not only survive, but grow like this, that's something worth celebrating. Hey geeks, welcome to another journey from the basement here on Geeks with Issues. We told you we'd be back, and here we are. We're at the brand new Mana Crypt location. We're here with Chris. Chris, first of all, congratulations on the new space, man.
Thank you so much.
Tell me about what necessitated the move.
So, as you saw last time when we were there, we had a lot of stuff, and the old building was getting to the point where we just couldn't fit anymore, and there was demand for more play space. There was demand for more product. So, I'd been looking for a place to move for a while. Finally, decided to take a look here since it had been closed for a while, and turned out that it worked out well for us. So
Yeah, it's a very cool layout. You guys will see it as we kind of take a walk around, but it's a really cool layout in here. I was just saying as I walked in, I had memories of this building from when I bought my first BMX bike way back in the day. I'm sure you've heard stories from other kids in Pittsfield and stuff that have come in. Tell me about what you're doing with the space.
So right now we have all of our retail areas on the first floor. So all of our products for sale, our registers, things like that. And then upstairs we have all of our play area. So we now have 10 tables for wargaming. We have seating for like 60 people in the TCG area. So all of the room, we should no longer have any issues with housing anybody who wants to come and play. We have a full basement that right now is just being storage, but long term we want to make a couple of private D&D rooms.
So what are some of the things that you have planned for some of the spaces? Like if I was going to rent that space, do you have any ideas of what you will do with that?
So essentially, I want to have the rooms to be able to seat like 10 people comfortably. There'll be probably 3 of them based on the layout. So ostensibly they'd be for playing D&D, or other role-playing games. But if you just want a cool themed room to rent for a party or something, they'd be available for that as well.
Oh, very cool.
So, it's probably a big table, a bunch of chairs, some scenery and things to use in your games. And
now I know you have scheduled events. Do you also have just like open table hours?
Yeah. So anytime we're open, if you want to come in and use the tables, that's certainly welcome. Barring a massive event or 2 going on at the same time, there should always be room at this point. It's just a simple table fee for anybody coming in to use them.
What is the most popular thing people are playing right now?
Most popular thing people are playing right now is still Magic, mostly Commander. Our Thursday night Commander events, regularly have 20 to 30 people playing Commander all at once. Warhammer is still big, especially now that we have plenty of tables. That's becoming more and more popular in store. There's a Blood Bowl league going on right now, which is basically Games Workshop version of American football, but where you can injure each other. And
Very cool.
So that's been a lot of fun. We've got a bunch of new TCGs going. We now have room to do Riftbound, One Piece, Gundam. Oh, wow. So we can run all of those various events alongside each other.
For somebody who's just getting back into Magic, I found it a little intimidating. I've been kind of just building decks around the house the way I used to before I ever even played Commander format. So I have a bunch of just 60 card decks that I have right now. What do you recommend for someone who's trying to get back into Magic? Like if I come to a Magic night, is there a different range of abilities?
Yes, we've got plenty. Even on our Commander nights, we have people playing pre-constructed decks. We have people playing fully constructed decks. So there's a range there. But also getting back in, draft is always a great way to do it.
Cool.
Because you can come in, you get the packs, you're building the cards from the cards you draft. You take them home at the end of the night, so you're building your collection at the same time. We do that on Friday nights. That's, again, probably the simplest way, because you don't need anything, you just show up and play.
Well, definitely something I'm going to have to check out. Geeks, thanks for being with us. We're going to wrap things up, and we'll give you a little bit of a tour here. Thank you.
Spaces like Mana Crypt don't just happen. They're built with care, passion, and a real love for the community. From the light-filled retail floor to the expansive gaming space upstairs, this new location feels like a promise kept to local geeks. You belong here. Chris, the owner, continues to be exactly what you want running a place like this. Friendly, knowledgeable, and always ready to help, whether you're a longtime regular or walking in for the first time. He and Mana Crypt are true assets to Berkshire County's geek scene, and we couldn't be happier to see them thriving. This has been Journey from the Basement, celebrating the spaces that bring us together, one game table at a time. We'll see you next stop, but until then, support your local game shops, roll high, draw well, and keep being unapologetically geeky.
All right, rehashing your feelings. What was it like walking into, like, getting that first impression walking into the new Mana Crypt?
I mean, as you see when you watch it, it's impressive. It's really impressive. Now, my first experience with that building was when I got my first BMX bike, and even then, it was it's cavernous.
It's huge.
The ceilings are high. Everything is kind of an open floor, but at the same time, it's like walking around a corner and finding something you didn't expect to find. It's really good. It's hard for me to believe that Chris had all of that stuff in a smaller store before.
Right?
Because it's laid out perfectly, and while there's still room to move around, it's so much stuff.
I was absolutely floored because I had the pleasure of bringing my older kids to go see the space opening day, the Black Friday of 2025. And it was just, I mean, it was packed with people that day, you know, the longtime supporters wanting to get in and see the new space and experience it day one. But it is stunning now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have to admit, one of the cool things about just doing Journey from the Basement in general is being able to go into the store when nobody's there and being able to look at everything up close without having to fight through a crowd of people. Getting to be behind the counter with Chris and seeing how everything is like stocked in just that nice, perfect way to draw your eye. It's just really cool. Thanks, Chris.
Fantastic. All right, so I am using my apparel for the first time to set up a topic. There are some people who may be seeing my Hufflepuff shirt today and having an opinion about what my views are. So what I wanted to talk a little bit about, because I think it is a excellent segue, and we're talking deep issues on this Geeks with Issues. Let's talk a little bit about the concept of death of the author. When do you feel it happens? When do you feel it needs to happen? And how does it change the way you consume media? And just for people who are unfamiliar with the term, death of the author is a phrase that communicates not the literal death of an author, but the philosophical separation that occurs when people remove the creation of the author from the author themselves because of beliefs, positions, past events that the author is connected to. Thoughts?
My thoughts really are to talk about the obvious. If we're talking about your shirt, I mean, it's hard to walk that line, I think, for some people, of how even open do I want to be about my fandom of this thing because it's controversial now. But I think don't be afraid of the things that made you fall in love with being a geek. Being a geek in this community is all about being positive. I think that we're all able to see the fun of something while understanding that there's a side of it that's not so fun to touch or talk about.
Yeah.
I don't really have a moment that I remember besides really the current one that we're talking about. I think fandom overtakes a lot of the original author in a lot of different spaces. Even just like if I could bring up Smallville for probably the 300th time in my career in Geeks with Issues, a lot of fan fiction started to, there was some controversial stuff with an actor on that show as well. And a lot of people sort of put that stuff on the shelf. You don't really see a lot of them at conventions anymore. but there's still a healthy podcast space in reviewing those episodes and doing everything besides talking about that really crappy thing that separated the fandom for a while. I don't know. I don't really have my own personal thing with that. I think I'm able to walk the line all the time. I have fun with Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I don't think there's a line to walk. Once an author goes to the point where you can't consider them as part of the creation they made anymore, you can completely disregard them there. That being said, if the author speaks up, recants what they've said, done something to, show growth in what their consideration is, that's something to keep in mind as well, and not completely like say, no, you said it once, you're gone forever. People, get better over time. We heal. Whatever anxieties and angers and, whatever they're feeling are there. So keeping that separate. And we do this with different fandoms across the way. Like I'm throwing back a really oldie here. I can read H.P. Lovecraft, knowing his positions on race. Like if I kept those two things together, I couldn't read one of my favorite my favorite cosmic horror writers' work.
Right.
I just hope that people can read Harry Potter and not feel the pain that was brought by the author there. And that's something to remember, is that stuff doesn't have to be within the work itself.
Conversation. Oh, go ahead.
And I think the thing that's probably most challenging about Death of the Author is when you have an author who holds the license to something and arguably does harm to a group within the fandom that they've created. Right. It's very adult, and if the table didn't tell you enough, adult is not always where we want to be.
Right.
But it's very adult to have to grapple with that duality of, this is a fandom that a dear friend of mine discovered their love of reading from. Mm-hmm. They were a bad reader before this. But there has been tremendous good, and there was a time when the community that has been hurt was helped by these stories. That duality is sometimes hard to wrestle with.
Well, and I think much like, if you look at it this way, much like after a parent dies, those memories are still alive with that parent's children, and they take something that they remember from a parent who might not have been perfect, who might have done things imperfect in their life, and they take what they love from that and they pass it on, and so on and so on. So I think in the same way with an author dies, if you and I have had a bonding experience over a certain book or a certain movie or a certain universe, I think that's in 20 years what you'll remember when you sit down with that person and talk, and not anything negative related to that author or that artist.
So the real moral here is geek with love.
Always geek with love. And love your geeks.
And that's a great way to wrap up the episode. Want to thank you, as always, for joining us here on Geeks with Issues 20XX here in the new basement of Dreams. We want to remind you of all of the fantastic places that you can find Geeks with Issues. We're available at our website online at www.geekswithissues.net. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search for Geeks with Issues TV. And to answer your question about if TV's a thing anymore, we're on TV. So yes,
we are.
It's totally a thing.
Yeah, that's true. Hi, hello on television. Don't touch that dial and all that.
So until next time, this has been
Trevor.
Ogre.
and Tuck, reminding you to geek on, geek out, and geek anywhere. Just remember to clean up after yourself. We'll see you next time on Geeks with Issues 20XX. Goodbye, everybody.
You gotta blow on it. You gotta blow on it. I used to think anything was possible. I thought that I could be a king or Caesar. But I don't need all of that gold or silver. That's how I know that I'm a true believer. Some people want to climb the corporate ladder, TBS reports, politics and schemes. Thanks to my chainsaw, my cubicle is firewood. Now I'm living in a basement of dreams.